Hey, it's Vegas. And you ever just sit alone in your room pondering the role you play, living on a ball of rock, floating in an endless void of stars and ash? Me neither.
We're all gonna live forever. I'm not afraid of death. But this scares me. Think about your favorite game. It doesn't matter whether it's an RPG, shooter, or social simulator. Most definitely it's one you've played hundreds of times. But have you ever stopped to wonder why? What's the thing that makes you always come back to it? Gameplay, style, freedom? Me, I'm amazed we even have video games. We live in a marvelous technical age, okay? Show Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz to a small Victorian child, their brain would fucking explode. We're growing and innovating at a rate that we can't even handle. When Elon Musk isn't manipulating Twitter for his financial benefit, he's brainstorming ideas on how to make a fucking robot. While most of us working class citizens satiate our desire to play God in other ways, like training a dog, writing stories, or ruling over your villagers with an iron fist. I know that's why I spend hours on end in the character creator painstakingly sculpting my character's nose, even though I know it's immediately going to be covered up with the helmet. Your creations, your adventure. At least that's what it says on the back of SpongeBob's Drawn to Life. But as cringy as it may sound, that statement is pretty true. In other words, if you're able to make your own adventure and put yourself into the shoes of the character you created, hearing your footsteps on the ground, rain falling from the sky, are you really playing a game? We can't actually scale mountainous monsters or become the world's best boxer in our everyday life, so we play a game that makes us feel like we can. Let's be real, if we could climb anything with our bare hands, we'd all spend a little more time outside. Video games fill the void of adventure every one of us has. After all, we're just highly evolved monkeys who opted to pick up the rock over the banana. We've evolved so much that we're now devolving. The first recreational video game was made to capitalize on the consumer's desire for convenient at-home entertainment, a crude imitation of a sport that ironically was born as another crude imitation. And you wonder why no one plays PUBG anymore. Multiplayer games can only feed into our god complex so much, especially with such a big learning curve.
No matter how good you get at neutral air into up air, there's always going to be someone spamming projectiles. And that's what hurts.
In layman's terms, you're only as good as you allow yourself to get. There's always going to be someone better making fun of you by teabagging. Enter single-player games. Now you don't have to deal with any more tryhards. You are the tryhard. Now, I don't know about you, but at least for me, I pick up new games based on what movie I've seen recently and what that game lets me do. Of course, that's not always how I've decided. Some of it comes from the basic human desire to be a pirate or a 1940s detective. A game having a great atmosphere can be made possible by something as simple as its score, all the way down to something overlooked like its UI, its menu design. Most high-budget single-player games give you a pre-established character that is then left up to you to guide through the story. The cherry on top being that the game drops you into a sandbox where you can let loose and partake in some mutually assured destruction. And you wonder why GTA 5 is still kicking. Now, there is an argument to be had with that level of freedom in video games. It's too much, too violent, it'll rot your brain, blah blah blah. Half the people that say that haven't played Minecraft. It's like, come on, ask any creator of a video game and they'll say that it was an expression of a desire that they either couldn't do in real life or do in another game. So for us, it's literally an outlet for freedom that we otherwise aren't allowed in the real world. Yes, I want to kill someone, but this is my therapy. I mean, that's what art is, a form of self-expression. There are different genres of game for different genres of people. Knew a guy with anger issues, started playing Nintendogs? Mother Teresa. It's not like we just want to blow shit up. We want to feel like a superhero flying through our city blowing shit up. We want to feel like a lone survivor wandering a nuclear wasteland, blowing shit up, or a zen-like master architect building our dream house, then blowing it up. Okay, I'm seeing a pattern here. The gameplay of something like God of War is a prime example of how addictive combat can be if you feel unstoppable. I mean, it's literally in the name. Superhero games are pretty much a genre in of itself. I mean, we all want to be one. There's good games and bad games, but they all let the player take control of a godlike avatar bound for destruction. Skills that add to your nigh unstoppable arsenal are directly related to your main story progression. Exchanging those experience points for abilities that make the game more enjoyable feels earned and keeps the player coming back for more. I mean, think about it, it's an impulse embedded in our brains begging to be exploited. And it is. Companies don't want to make a perishable yet immersive single-player experience when their game can be a service, a gacha game, a genre designed for brief yet endlessly playable entertainment for our short attention span. Why wait years to earn that godlike skin when you can just buy it with the battle pass and collect it in 3 matches? We feed into our gaming god complex by paying to rise above everybody else. The problem arises when it starts to become toxic.
The fuck you say to me, you little shit?
This isn't necessarily bad, in fact, it makes sense. As people, we like to be in control, and what better thing to help us do that than a video game? I mean, if you think about it, there isn't a wrong way to play a video game. Obey the traffic laws in GTA, you fucking animal. Take any big budget open world title, Skyrim, Zelda, you'll hear countless stories of different gameplay experiences ranging from player to player. Puzzles that have different ways to be solved. Side quests that can be completely overlooked if you don't exhaust an NPC's dialogue. Like, what the fuck, I'm playing this game so I don't have to talk to people. I play video games for many different reasons, and some of my favorite ones are my favorite because they focus on a problem that I want to work out. A desire to be someone I can't, or do something I can't. I keep coming back to them because they remind me of who I really am. An asshole with the god complex, baby.